Listen carefully. Your brain was not designed for comfort. It was not built for endless scrolling, easy dopamine, or living a life where nothing challenges you. Your brain was built for pressure. It was built to adapt, to grow, to evolve under stress. But somewhere along the way, you were told the opposite. You were told stress is bad, pressure is dangerous. You should relax, take it easy, avoid discomfort. And now look what's happening. People are not dying from pressure. They're dying from lack of purpose. They're dying from boredom, from distraction, from having nothing meaningful to chase. Because when you remove challenge from your life, you remove growth. And when you remove growth, you slowly destroy yourself without even realizing it. See, pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your training ground. It is the force that sharpens you. It is the resistance that builds you. Without it, you stay weak. Now don't misunderstand this. Yes, you can overwork yourself. Yes, you can burn out chasing things that mean nothing. But there is a difference between empty work and meaningful struggle. When you are working on something that matters to you, something that pushes you, something that forces you to grow, that pressure becomes fuel. It becomes addictive. You don't run from it. You lean into it. Because deep down, this is where you are becoming someone new. And that's the difference between people who win and people who stay stuck. Winners don't avoid pressure. They embrace it. They accept that pain is part of the process. They understand that growth feels uncomfortable. And instead of complaining, they get to work. Because complaining does nothing. Explaining yourself to the world does nothing. Talking about your plans does nothing. The only thing that matters is what you do. Silently, consistently, relentlessly. You don't need validation. You don't need approval. You don't need to explain why. You're grinding while others are relaxing. Let them misunderstand you. Let them question you. Let them doubt you. Because while they're watching, you're building. And that's where focus comes in. Real focus is not just sitting down and doing something. Real focus is obsession. It's when you care so deeply about your path that the moment you drift away, your mind pulls you back. It's uncomfortable. It's frustrating, but it's powerful. Because that internal voice, that signal telling you you're off track, that's what keeps you aligned. Most people don't have that. They drift for years, jumping from one thing to another, chasing comfort instead of commitment. And then they wonder why nothing works, why nothing changes, why life feels empty. Because they never stayed long enough to build something real. They never gave themselves time to grow. They never understood that success is delayed, that the work you put in today might not pay off tomorrow, or next month, or even next year, but it will pay off. And when it does, it changes everything. While others are wasting time chasing quick wins, you are building something deeper. Skills, knowledge, discipline. These are not temporary. These are assets. These are things no one can take from you. Money can disappear. Opportunities can vanish. But skill stays. Skill compounds. Skill creates leverage. And every hour you invest into learning, into improving, into mastering something, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are becoming sharper, faster, more capable. You are turning yourself into someone who can handle more. And most people don't even realize this is happening. They think they're lost. They think they're behind. They think they're wasting time. But what they don't see is this. They are building the foundation, brick by brick, day by day. And one day, everything clicks. One opportunity, one moment, one breakthrough. And suddenly, everything you struggled through makes sense. That's how it works. Not instantly, not easily, but inevitably. If you stay consistent, if you stay committed, if you don't quit. And here's something even deeper. The way you Handle pressure. Reveals who you really are. Anyone can look confident when things are easy. Anyone can act strong when there's no risk. But when things get hard, when pressure increases, when everything feels uncertain, that's when your real character shows. Do you break? Do you complain? Do you blame others? Or do you stand up, take responsibility, and push forward anyway? Because strong people don't run from pressure. They adapt to it. They learn from it. They grow through it. They take criticism. They improve. They adjust. They evolve. Weak people, they defend. They deny. They avoid. They stay the same. And staying the same is the most dangerous thing you can do. Because the world keeps moving. And if you don't grow, you fall behind. Not because you're not capable, but because you chose comfort over growth. Now let's talk about control. Because real power comes from self-control, not controlling others, not dominating situations. Controlling yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your words, especially your words. Because people who talk too much lose power. They reveal too much. They react too fast. They lack discipline. But people who know when to stay silent, when to observe, when to speak less, they create presence. They create authority. They create control. Because silence is power. And in a world where everyone is shouting, the one who is calm, focused, and controlled stands out. Now understand this. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your path. You don't need to justify your grind. You just need to execute. Every single day. Even when it's hard. Even when it's boring. Even when it feels like nothing is working. Because that's the process. That's how growth works. Slow, painful, uncertain, but powerful. And if you stay in it long enough, you will become someone different. Stronger, sharper, more disciplined, more focused, more dangerous. Not dangerous to others, but dangerous to your old self. The version of you that used to quit. The version of you that used to doubt. The version of you that avoided pressure. That version dies, and a new version is built. One that can handle anything. One that thrives under pressure. One that creates results. So stop running from stress. Stop chasing comfort. Stop looking for shortcuts. They don't exist. There is only one path. Work, discipline, focus, time. And if you can stay on that path long enough, consistently enough, relentlessly enough, you won't just change your life. You will transform who you are. And once that happens, there is no going back. So embrace the pressure. Control your mind. Build your skills. Stay silent and let your actions speak. Because in the end, that's all that matters.